Today is February 27th, 2017, and I turned 43. I can't remember the time. I'm sure somebody told me when I was born, but I don't remember what time it was. But yeah, years go faster and faster. Yet one year older, hopefully even slightly wiser, but don't know. I do know that I had a wonderful surprise when I got home. My in-laws were visiting, and my wife had ordered a bunch of sushi, and we had that, and then some laskiaispulla, which is a Finnish delicacy, maybe a strong word, but it's this thing that is eaten around this time. I think there's laskiaissunnuntai as one, when it's a specific day that it's a big bun with jam and whipped cream in it, and sometimes you have manteli. No, I can't remember. Well, there's a couple of different varieties. I can't remember that one. The other one is just jam and whipped cream, and that's what we had today. Or I didn't have any because I'm trying to avoid gluten. I only consume red wine and gluten-free beer. I found a good one from Alko. It's a gluten-free IPA, but it's horribly expensive. It costs like €5 a bottle, a half a litre bottle. But that is steep for just one pint of beer. It's not the Finnish number 3 beer. It's maybe 5 point some, so it's a bit stronger the beer, but still, it's expensive. But anyway, we had a nice dinner. Yeah, I served my raw chocolate also. And DJI, true to their fashion, is breaking promises again. So I'll be surprised if the device is ready by Thursday. Should be ready by Wednesday, but they've always broken their promises. So why would I expect them to do anything else than to break it again? Because their customer service is absolutely appalling. If it would be a Finnish company doing that, there's something called kuluttaja-asiamies in Finland. They'll be dialing their number and saying that, please improve your performance in this. But no, not this company. I hope that people commenting on them and saying that they're doing a bad job will affect them, and they'll switch their mode of operation, but you never know. I had something intelligent to say, but now it has somehow escaped me. Yeah, that was one thing. The 3-cam edit that I did on the last video, where I had right, left and center, it just, what do you call it, my MacBook Pro, it has seen its glory days. It's maybe a slightly old version, but what can you say? Now it's, you know, when you have a thought in your head and you're kind of thinking of how am I going to say it, and then you continue rambling on something else, and then just flies out your head. I can't remember. I was supposed to say something meaningful. Oh yeah, today at work we had to go and check out another apartment. That is, by the way, something that is a prayer request. Our business, this Runo thing that me, Raisa and Terhi and Mia and Suvi are participating in, it just, every single time we try and do something, it somehow feels that it just hits a wall and it doesn't go. And it's frustrating. Now we found an apartment building, well, with 2 stories, and there's 2 studio apartments in it that have previously been shop fronts, and now they have a building permit to be converted into apartments, and we're thinking of bidding on those, you know. But I was walking there, and it was snowed over, and I had, what do you call it, I had cycled to work, and I had pressed myself. I think my average was 165 heartbeat, and the maximum was near 180, and and my average speed was, I think, something around 15 kilometers an hour, and there was this about 4 inches, 10 centimeters thick snow, and it was hard, but it would break through it and slow me down, and I would really have to press through it, and it was constantly swerving me, you know, pillar to post. And I was afraid that I'm going to end up in the cars, or I end up in the ditch, or something happens to be. But I managed to get there. But anyway, I'll compile this now. And yes, what I forgot to mention about the walking was that I was struggling to keep my balance, and my legs felt that I had run a marathon, and I was just not stable on my feet. And I attribute that to me cycling. This is what I forgot to mention in my previous recording. And now that I was compiling, I was thinking that, yeah, something is missing. I don't think that lens focus is that close. I think it goes all mushy. But I think I forgot to say that, and now I remembered it. So I wanted to have a brief update. My current spot that I'm working in, it's like moved, and I now have a window I can see outside, which is kind of halfway nice. The view isn't the best, but at least hey, I can see a bit of sky. I used to sit at the opposite end of this corridor down there, but that was my spot previously. It's weird how empty the office is nowadays. There's very few people here. DJI again breaking its promises, but I think there's nothing new to that. They should have shipped the product back to me today, but surprise, surprise, I haven't heard anything back from them. I got a comment. I don't get a lot of comments. This is kind of a private. The only reason why I get comments is because I post stuff about DJI and other people share my pain. Basically, it's primarily my personal diary about stuff that happens. But the comment was about chewing gum and my pauses. I do pause often, and what do you call it? My father, who's a Scotchman, did I say that correctly? I don't know. Has, or the language that was spoken at my home, it has kind of left a small imprint on my brain that I know that there's an intelligent or a proper way of saying this, and then when I have these pauses, I'm kind of thinking, what's the right way of saying this? And quite often I don't come up with anything, and then the language isn't as good as I would hope it to be. I think because you see all sorts of languages used, and I think my downfall is that I know that there's something better available, but I just can't grasp it. It would be maybe better to be completely illiterate and then learn it, and then you wouldn't have an idea of, you just know that one way of saying stuff. And then the other truth of the matter is, I could spend a bit more time at the editing table and clip out all the dead spaces in my speech, but that takes time, like masses and masses of time. Finnish ladies did not succeed on the 10 kilometers, and I'm liking Final Cut Pro more. The more I use it, the more I like it, especially the multicam thing. I was actually going to say this in the car, but the memory card of this tiny thing run out. We had some dog training videos there that I had to transfer to Terhi, so I couldn't wipe it clean. One thing that is in order now, I go through these. I still buy some of these supplements, and but when I empty up into my dispenser or whatever, I can't remember, then the bottles that become empty, then I take these and I order them. And last time I thought that there was what do you call it, an iHerb EU site. And yeah, this is what I'm going to use. I like the selection at iHerb, but no, it still got caught, because I thought, okay, if it's inside of EU, there will be no tolls applied. But no, I still had to pay the tolls. So now, when I'm getting the supplements, I need to either buy them from Amazon, or then I need to whatever source that sells these that is within the EU. It's not in these. It's not even the money. It's just the absolute pain in the butt to actually. I've done it, well, something like 5 times, but it's just no point in doing stuff like that over and over and over again. It slows the delivery, and then it's obviously it's extra cost. You need, yeah, that's one thing that they have. They have some kind of, let's say I buy 2 or 3 of these, and the cost is, let's say, under €50. But then the toll, they have an administrative fee which is something like €25, which is absolutely ridiculous. Plus then the toll, which is like €3. I'm being robbed. So now I need to find a place where to get them within the EU, so that I don't get robbed. And yeah, one thing now, for 2 days, I asked Terhi yesterday, did she notice that I was unstable on my feet and I couldn't walk properly? And she said, yes, she noticed something when we were outside this apartment that we were looking. But now, for 2 days, I've been unsteady on my feet, or my walking is more jerky, and it feels like my legs don't follow. And I've had this before. That's not the case, but it just gets you down, because you kind of think that maybe that symptom passed, but then you're faced with it over and over and over again. So stuff just not very pleasant. It's not this kind of debilitating thing where you can't do anything. It's just your mind's focused on. I pray that I can put this behind me. This too shall pass, but how long will it take? That's the question. Anyway, Jesus Christ is your and my King. Amen.